Hello, Senior Stoner fans. It's the real Senior Stoner back at you for your Helix Carta Dab of the Day. Today is Wednesday. Hello, everybody. Well, I think it's really important. Some of the things we talk about are really important. Not just topics, but really important. Here's one of them. We have to get to know what outcome you want to achieve. Period. Now that one can be spread like fertilizer. It can be spread like lawn care, really sprinkled over everywhere. Because if you apply that principle, think of this. Know what you want the outcome to be. What outcome do you want to achieve? Then you build back into it like a dog. They get under and they dig the dirt into a pile behind them. It's what we want to do. We want to pile up a lot of stuff in these areas. And I'll say what I mean by that. Let's say what you want to achieve is to reduce your pain. What you need to do is analyze what your situation is. Find out what you're dealing with. Think of the different things you want to do to make changes, and then figure out where you want to be. And in that case, it's simple. You want no pain. Think about that. So pin it on the wall. That outcome is you want no pain. And it can be multiple things. Well, I'm retired now. I'd like to live with Mrs. Stoner when she retires, quietly and securely. Pin that up on the wall. That might be financially. So you have to now know the outcome. That's comfortable. Well, then you build into it with the different ways you're going to do it. That's a whole other thing. But we need to lay up onto a wall or onto a bulletin board somewhere, a mental bulletin board, the different things that we want. What outcomes do we want to achieve? Pain-free living, financial security. How about health? How about so we're not dealing with things popping up all the time? Our health would smooth out a little bit. How about peace? How about peace so there was no more yelling and screaming and horror around? Now that's not something necessarily that we can attach ourselves to because we're not causing that problem particularly. But you know what? It's a nice thing that you want to have as an outcome is peace. But I think with a family, what you want is you want your family to have health and happiness. And you want to see your family as much as possible. So what you do is you put up these different goals and these different things you want to achieve. Then you kind of list, how am I going to get there? What things do I have to do to ensure that I get there? Pain-free living. Okay. I don't want to do this, but I'm going to actually have an injection on Tuesday. Somebody had a cancellation. So they're getting me in. I have to go for a COVID-19 test on Friday at their office, and then they're getting me into the surgical center on Tuesday morning. Not happy about it. I don't want to go. But what choice do I have? Because one of the outcomes I wanted to achieve was reduce pain. And here I'm being given an opportunity to go in and have a chance at reduced pain. Yes, there's a chance that he hits the other spot and it gets worse, but I got to cross my fingers that I can get some help here. So that's a very important thing, and that's low-hanging fruit, and that's now. So that's time-sensitive. So a lot of these things are not time-sensitive. A lot of these things are kind of philosophical things we think about, and so then you can build into it. But a no-pain situation with an injection on Tuesday, that's taking action pretty rapidly. Illustration number 2 would be financial things. Well, you have to change your spending habits most likely as income changes as you get older and you work less or don't work at all. You have to change the things from what you need and want to the things you must have. And so the priorities change in terms of activities, priorities change in terms of whether you live in lap of luxury or whether you live more simply. These are the things you have to think about as you approach those things. And that is an outcome. You want financial peace. Now, what about peace in life? What about peace in the world? much harder to attain because we can only kind of deal with our slice, if that makes sense, and we can have philosophical thoughts about the global situation. Well, maybe what we can do to help ourselves is, instead of just saying we can't do anything about the global situation, we can look at how the global situation comes to us. Well, it comes to us in TV, comes to us in internet, comes to us in radio if you're in the car, comes to us in reading matter. What if you selected and chose things that would show you less bad stuff? I have a friend who doesn't believe in bad stuff, doesn't watch the news, doesn't pick up a paper, doesn't want to know. And he kind of muddles along and everything's fine in his world because he doesn't know. Not because everything's fine, but because he doesn't know. So he ignores it. So what I'm trying to say is, well, maybe what we have to do is think about what he's doing. He's alive and he's surviving. So maybe the approach, or a partial approach, is to not be so in tune with what's going on out there. Why do we have to be in tune with every morsel of what's happening around us? Maybe we focus more about us and those in our circle, and close to our circle, instead of the global mess that we have no control over. Just something to think about for those of us out there that want to have a little bit more achievement for the things they want to have. You know, you want the outcome to be a certain outcome, okay? Nothing wrong with that. But I am here to tell you that one of the ways we're going to have to approach this is we're going to have to understand the current situation well. This is the essence of change. The essence of change is knowing where you start. Change has to come from something to something. So the essence of good change is to understand where you are now. Not easy. Almost have to climb out of your skin a little bit to figure that one out. That's why they have psychiatrists and psychologists. Don't give yourself a hard time over it. You're only human. These are human things. We just have to do the best that we can. Cheers. Because let's face it, knowing your outcome you want to achieve is everything. It's your target, and it's your roadmap, and it's your get well card at the same time. It's everything to you, because nobody wants to be frozen, stuck in a place they don't want to be, let's say. So our jobs, all of us, to make ourselves better, is to keep knowing the outcome that you want to achieve and keep finding ways to do it. Real Senior Stoner saying, have a great day out there, everybody, and I hope you all can achieve the outcomes you want.